On June 18, 2024, CSX Transportation would make a special run down to the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad to deliver 2 new locomotives onto the property. In this video, we will cover the interchange process, as well as taking a look at the beginning stages of CSX's installation of positive train control on the Cleveland Subdivision. Thank you for watching, and without further ado, let's begin the video. On Tuesday, June 18th, I am set up at the West 14th Street Railroad crossing, awaiting on the westbound departure of Norfolk Southern train C22. C22 is a daily turn job based out of Campbell Yard here in Cleveland, and runs west to Norfolk Southern's Rockport Yard near Parma. On point of today's train was SD40E number 6333. This locomotive is one of many ex-Conrail SD50s that were rebuilt by Norfolk Southern in the 2010s at their massive Juniata locomotive shops. It is unique from all the others, however, due to its rare Nathan K5LLE horn. This Nathan horn uses bells 1L, 1, 2, 3B, and 4. It is the same as the K5HLB, but on a lower manifold. Not too long after, CSX L317 enters the area, with solo GP40-36538 in the lead. L317 will swing across the Norfolk Southern tracks and enter CSX's Clark Avenue yard. shell of its former self, Clark Avenue Yard was once a bustling industrial hub in the heart of Cleveland's steel mills. At one time, the Chesty system called Clark Yard its home base, with the railroad's headquarters being not too far from it. Now the small yard only sees one local job a day, with a few various industries around it for switching. Brought up by a prior day's L317 are two Montreal Locomotive Works FPA-4 locomotives. The unique paint job they wear is from their days working on the Grand Canyon Railway. Today's L317 would pick these two locomotives up and take them down to Willow, the interchange with the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad. In the background, the Cleveland Works Railway can be seen switching with a leased LT-EX SW1001 switcher locomotive. Skipping ahead a ways, we see L317 arriving at Willow. Here, there is a Y to serve two local customers, as well as the interchange with the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic. The train would round the north leg of the Y, and then decouple from the rest of its cars, bound for Ash Grove's Cleveland terminal, and shove the FPA-4s down the south leg of the Y to hand off to CVSR. During this process, CVSR also showed up to the interchange to pick up their new engines. With CSX's portion of the drop-off complete, CVSR would throttle forward to couple up to the engines and take them south to the railroad's Fitzwater yard. I unfortunately had to leave for work, so this was all I was able to capture. About a week earlier, on June 10th, I was out in Parma to check up on CSX action in the area. CSX recently felt the need to update their Cleveland Subdivision with positive train control, or PTC, supposedly to prepare for an increase of rail traffic for Clark Avenue Yard. Upon arrival, there was a lot of action in the area already. Maintenance of way crews can be seen on site, a Loram ballast train can be seen in the yard, as well as multiple jeeps fired up around the area waiting for their next assignment. The power for today's L316 passes by the rest of the engines in Parma in order to go build their train for Rockport and Collinwood. Meanwhile, maintenance of way crews are preparing to lift a signal box up into the air and onto a truck. Part of a modern PTC installation means replacing older and outdated signals, which there are a few of around Parma. This signal box will be installed near the American Road crossing north of here, which is coincidentally where I'll be going as well here in a bit. A small hike south of where American Road crosses the tracks is a hidden gem in northeast Ohio, a Baltimore and Ohio color position light signal. If you know me, you know that this is my favorite type of railroad signal. Like I mentioned earlier, this old US&S built signal specifically will soon meet its fate to a more modern safe train replacement, which as of the making of this video is already set up and wired. This signal is approach lit, which means that it will only light up when a train enters the circuit or block it protects. GP40-2 6110 can be seen moving to the left side of your screen. That is train L317, which will be going up to Clark Avenue Yard here shortly. In the middle of your screen and arriving into Parma Yard is L323, coming up from Leicester.
And eastbound going to bring him down here to 14, and he'll be crossing over after you guys get through here, eastbound.
Have an eastbound coming by. Let's shoot Jack once we get clear.
All to the eastbound. Can you hear me over?
I hear you.
Did you say he was a 775?
B as in boy 77508 with CSX 431.
Get you guys started there down here to 14. I got guys crossing over. Leader 431, you have Rawls permission. East 1 into my limits, QDS 16.7. Max speed, 1 excess and do not pass the EAS CP-14 without talking to me. Max speed up to that point, over.
Roger, B7750 wave with that. One point round. Thank you.
Get right back to you as soon as my equipment here gets crossed over.
After switching in the yard for about an hour and waiting on some traffic to clear up, L317 finally gets permission north to Clark Avenue Yard and past this historic Baltimore and Ohio signal.
L317-10, CSX T6110. Got the signal at Parma Diamond. Looking for permission through your working limits, west on the single main.
L317-10 with the leader 6110. Got one permission west on the main, my entire limit. From the DJA 156.0 to DJA 157.5.
If your train over.
Understand, L317-10 with CSX T6110. Has former Wild's permission through his working limits west single main between the milepost BJA 156.0, BJA 157.5. Max speed for our train, no additionals. My initials RLC.
Another neat B&O signal in the area is on the north side of Clark Avenue Yard. This small dwarf signal guards the lift bridge that goes over the Cuyahoga River. L317 will occasionally cross over this bridge if it has work to do on the other end of the river. Today they did. They dropped off some tank cars at Zalcon, a chemical manufacturer off of Independence Road. We see them here utilizing the bridge to cross back over the Cuyahoga River, as well as crossing over a small diamond with a track that leads up to some industries. Later in the day, I moved back down to Parma to check out the other endangered signals. These are G-type signals, or trilights as most people call them, that guard CSX's diamond between the Cleveland Shortline Subdivision, part of the railroad's double-track main line from Chicago to New York, and the CSX Cleveland Subdivision, a single-track branch line that leads to points north and south. Approaching from the west is CSX M217, a rerouted autorack train due to Baltimore's Howard Street Tunnel construction. Looking to the west, we can see Norfolk Southern train C22 departing Rockport going back to Campbell Yard, as well as a yellow signal on the westbound main for another train. This train would be CSX M267, with CW44AC number 5 in the lead. This locomotive still wears its faded YN2 paint job, given to it when it was delivered to CSX in 1994. The L317 that we saw earlier is waiting out of frame to the left for this train to cross the diamond before it can get permission southbound back into Parma. With all of the impeding traffic in the clear, L317 can now continue back into Parma Yard. And with that, I would like to thank everybody for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell as to not miss any future videos. This is Anthony with Northern Ohio Rail Fanning Productions, signing off.